Let's start with the reading, Leo. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. Keep in mind that the energies do go both ways, so feel free to interpret the direction of the messages as the best resonate with your own situation. Also, I am still selecting people for free personal readings. Keep watching to know how to get selected. Now let's see what messages we have here for you today, Leo. Okay. The energy at the bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. And what I'm seeing here right away is that there is something that someone wants to say or something that they're waiting to hear from the other person. And overall, that message, that communication for this moment at this time is blocked. We see that actually this Four of Cups is followed by the Four of Pentacles. Overall, we see how the main energy here talks about maybe two people who are both trying to maintain some stability and trying to keep something for themselves. And just because that keeps them safe, stable, this is some sort of pattern. It's definitely not what's really going on. In fact, there's a lot to say. A specific message right here that we're starting to see that it's starting to come up, which instead wants to take the situation to a completely different place. So right here, we see this duality a lot, actually. I see this Two of Wands and this King of Swords both looking at the Page of Wands, both looking, waiting, hoping for a message to come in. To me, this is almost like a temptation. Both of you are looking at it, wanting to have it, wanting to go for it, or wanting to ask for it as well, because you want this communication to finally start again. But you feel that at this point, that would be not a wise move. It's best to instead keep it for yourself, to not let the other person know that you are feeling this type of urge and need. Overall, what I see at the beginning, at least of this reading, is two people who are both wanting to communicate to each other, but you're waiting for the other person to make the first move. This Page of Wands right here brings a message that is there regardless of the fact that you might be sharing it or not. And that message has a lot of passion. We will look into what that is. So on one end, we have this Two of Wands. Someone who is almost waiting at the window there to see that message or that person coming in. This is clearly a situation where someone feels that they have to stay in that comfort zone. They have to just be there and wait for this to happen, because otherwise they would not be able to achieve a successful outcome for some reason. Right here, this person is trying to not rush into anything. They're not making decisions right now. In fact, they're just waiting and hoping. But you can see this person's face is definitely the face of someone who's daydreaming about the possibility for that communication to finally happen again. It's something very powerful. And this, I do believe it might be the person who's actually going to eventually come in with the message. Since Two of Wands, Page of Wands, we see how this person realizes that maybe at some point it's time to take that risk, to get out of that comfort zone in order to reach full potential here and to really go for something that could be absolutely beautiful. On the other end, we have a King of Swords, perhaps you. Someone who now is understanding that the best thing to do is just detaching from the situation altogether. Not that you want to, but you feel that you have to protect yourself before it's too late. Sometimes you find yourself thinking about the situation and the potential of it, and it's beautiful. You know that this can be really amazing, that it has a ton of potential, as we were saying. But the fact that nothing is happening, it's making you feel as though you have to protect yourself from those dreams, from that vision. And overall, right here, you are wanting to be a little bit more distant and protective of yourself. You're capable of great communication. You're a very strong communicator, but you always also want to find the right time to have this conversation, to talk about this. And you just feel like you shouldn't be the one reaching out right now. And your reason, because you feel that way, comes from a very logical place, King of Swords. Whereas instead theirs comes from a place perhaps of pure passion, insecurity, fire. And they come maybe from fear. Whereas instead for you, it just makes sense that they are the ones who should reach out at the moment. Underneath these three cards, we actually have the coming up events from what I'm seeing right now. Clearly, someone is deciding that that message has to come out, and that waiting, it's not going to take them to the place where they want to be, which is right next to you, Leo, is in a place where they can build something with you, be with you, spend time with you. They cannot stand this distance. It's clear right here. And the more time it passes, the harder the struggle it gets. And so right here, we see soon the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Swords. And right here, it's clear that this Page of Wands is going to be finally that moment of release. It's going to be something that it's finally going to connect the two of you together once again. Even if quickly, we see in fact an energy here that usually moves very fast, as you can see in the card. But at the same time, it's the first seed. It's the first step into something bigger that the two of you can truly achieve together. It's funny because this Nine of Cups is in the same position of the Page of Wands, right? Which is making me believe that this is going to happen exactly in the same way that you are envisioning it to happen. You might know this person, you might know the way they communicate, you might know that sometimes they pull back, but that's just not who they really are. And you know that they're going to reach out. That's why perhaps you're not making that move. And you are right about this. We see a vision that comes to life here. And overall, we see that this person is going to reach out fast. They're going to go from not talking at all to instead sending you a ton of messages, at least 9. And this is going to be just the beginning of something. We will see what comes next. Overall, at the base of this very reading, supporting this reading itself, is the Knight of Cups. There is a lot of love for you, Leo. Someone who sees you as this force of nature. They just love your fire. They love your passion. You're Leo. You are fire. You're beauty. You are movement. You are everything positive that you can think about. And right here, we see how they truly know that as well. And at the base of their moves right here, there is love. There is a need to connect with you in ways that perhaps you never connected with anyone else. This Knight of Cups can be very romantic, very charming. And they are coming in also with a gift, with something that is going to let you know how much they care about you. Even if at times they make you feel as though they don't care at all, that is just not the truth. And it's not your fault that you feel that way. It's because of their actions. And we will see what actually creates this back and forth. But For now, suffices to say that this person is absolutely crazy about you, Leo. And regardless of how much time you spend apart, regardless of what you tell each other, that love is just not going anywhere. So, right here at the bottom of the deck, we also have Death Rebirth, talking about a deep transformation that perhaps is going to happen here. Something that can truly, completely change the very landscape of this situation. Now, right here, we see that moment. We see that moment where these messages are starting to come in. I'm also thinking that you are just going to wake up with 8 notifications on your phone, and you're just not expecting this. You were hoping for it, maybe waiting even for it, but you might have started giving up on it. Whereas instead, here right now, we see that out of the blue, all of a sudden, you are going to see this coming in. From the 8 to the 9, that's your first message going out to this person. And overall, that's telling us that this is going to be a conversation that you're going to engage into. They're going to say something very deep here with the Knight of Wands. Something that will truly touch you, make you feel as though this person now is opening up in ways perhaps that they haven't in a long time. You know, right here, I do see one thing that I haven't mentioned. Regardless of the age, I do sense that you are somewhat more mature energetically than this person is. You see beyond certain things. Your understanding of the situation and life in general is much deeper than this person. And because of that, you see someone here in front of you who's learning and learning from you as well. You're such an inspiration to this person. And now, the more time it passes, the more they realize this. And so right here, we see that change slowly coming towards you, but it's reaching that boiling point, that turning point where things will never be the same. And what we see right here is clearly something which is going to not see you waiting there anymore, and it's going to potentially change everything. If you were waiting for a message, well, expect 8 of them. And from that moment forward, everything is going to transform. So let's dive deeper into all of these messages now. Let's see what this person is wanting to communicate to you, what they're going to tell you right here, which is going to be somewhat of a shocker perhaps for you, and how the situation is about to change from this moment forward in the near and distant future as well. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, just follow me in the extended video link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every week I randomly select viewers that have watched the extended video to offer them a free personal 30-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Leo. We've seen here a situation that at first was kind of funny. The both of you looking at this message, waiting for that message to come in, and overall needing to tell the other person something that the more time it passes, the more important it gets. Right now, we see that you actually don't have to do anything at all, because this person is about to give in to the temptation to reach out to you. And all of a sudden, you will wake up with messages from this person, and you will clearly know that that is a turning point into this whole situation. Right here, we see messages coming in, some sort of revelation, and then a deep transformation. Let's see, first of all, what these messages will be about, and then we will look into these 2 cards as well, and we will look into how the situation is going to transform from this moment forward. Let's start with the Eight of Wands. Oh my God. I start seeing into this revelation right here, and it's definitely something that you're not expecting from this person given their behavior up to this point. Right here, we are seeing